before we begin, a huge thank you to everyone watching from the USA and, of course, to the amazing viewers in Canada. You're always here. A big thank you to everyone. All right, let's begin today's adventure. We're going to build a complete 4-way smart switch device to integrate with Home Assistant. From the wiring diagram to the printed circuit board, from soldering to smoke to miracles. So grab your popcorn or your fire extinguisher. We begin in KiCad, where all great ideas begin, and where all great mistakes are born. Here's the schematic. After placing all the components and connecting everything, I jumped into the PCB editor, arranged the components, routed the tracks, and here's the 3D rendering. This is the moment where everything looks perfect, because it's still virtual and can't catch fire yet. Now, let's look at the components we'll be using. A beautiful collection of tiny pieces, large pieces, and pieces that will later pretend to be what they're not. I started with this microscopic transistor. Terrible choice. Next time, I'm replacing this SMD part with a normal through-hole component so anyone can build this at home without needing the eyesight of a falcon. Next, I added the capacitor, the high-frequency transformer, the varistor, the current fuse, and the temperature fuse. Then the filtering capacitor for the 5 volts to 3.3 volts regulator. I also added a heatsink to the LD1117V33, which will later become the villain of this video. At this point, everything still looked innocent. Then I added the diode and the LED indicator, which, let's be honest, doesn't indicate anything useful. 2 resistors, the relay that acts as the 4-way switch, pogo pins so I don't have to solder the ESP01, the reset button, the AC to DC transformer, and finally the big terminals for the thicker wires. This board was starting to look like a real product, or a real problem. Time to solder everything. Solder, cut until the last pin. After that, I cleaned the board with isopropyl alcohol to remove the flux, because if the board doesn't work, at least it should look clean. The temperature fuse was impossible to solder, so I added terminals to hold it. Improvisation is innovation. Now for the first test. I checked conductivity, everything looked fine. I assembled the 3D resin piece for the ESP01. Then I remembered I could test the board before installing it in the wall. So I grabbed a plug, stripped the AC wires, connected it, and of course, it didn't work. With this many components, it would have been suspicious if it worked on the first try. But before we get to the problem, let me show you the sponsor of today's video.
This project was only possible thanks to my sponsor, with JLCPCB. So let's visit the JLCPCB page and get this board ready for production. Just drag and drop and boom! The boards are instantly analyzed and show exactly what you will receive. They offer us total control. Quantity, thickness, color, everything you need to create the perfect board. Look, we can see the result of the board in 3D. What I love is the transparency. You adjust a setting and the price is updated in real time. They have industrial level features, but the interface seems to have been made for manufacturers like us. And if you're new, you can register right here. It takes a few seconds.
Every project starts as an idea, and then, one day, it arrives in a box. This is the board we imagined, now made real by JLC PCB. Clean traces, perfect alignment. This is the kind of precision that makes a project feel alive. Many thanks to JLC PCB for partnering on this project. I send electrons, they send me perfection. Back to the board. I touched the heatsink of the 5 volts to 3.3 volts regulator, and it burned my glove. That's when I knew the villain had revealed itself. I measured the voltage. Input? Perfect. Output? 0.7 volts. It was smoking, melting the plastic underneath. Ladies and gentlemen, I had invented a heater. I tested another LD1117V33 off the board. Same problem. Even with a 1K load, the voltage stayed wrong. At this point, I accepted that the regulator and I were not compatible. So I grabbed an AMS 1117 regulator board, soldered it in, and suddenly everything worked. Miracles do happen, usually after you give up. I uploaded the code to the ESP01, tested the button, on, off, perfect. Finally, a moment of peace. Since this device is meant to be placed inside a junction box, I drilled a hole in the wall for a tablet with Home Assistant and installed a discrete box behind the tablet. I then installed this device near the three-way switch. Brief explanation. Let's start simple. A basic switch only needs 2 wires. Power in, power out. That's it. In a parallel system, the wires act like railroad tracks. Line 1 and line 2. The switch just chooses which track the power travels on. A 4-way switch flips the wires like an X. It literally swaps the paths to confuse the lamp. And it works. If the power was coming from the top wire, the 4-way switch throws it down. Boom! The lamp changes state instantly. This wire flipping trick fools the lamp. It doesn't know what happened. It just turns on or off like magic. So remember, 2 wires for simple, 2 tracks for parallel, and the mighty X for 4-way switching. Easy, right? You can add as many 4-way switches as you want between 2 3-way switches. In this video, we are simulating the 4-way switch. In real life, you won't need many of these inside junction boxes, but for this project, it's perfect. I almost forgot the best part of the video. Get your brains ready, because here comes What Am I? I decide when the traveler may pass. I am touched, but I do not move. I complete a path without taking a step. Without me, darkness wins. What am I? I'm gonna strip some wires for the switch connections. Yes, I know, black wires would make more sense here, but we work with what we have. And the device we're adding now is the second 4-way switch, which brings the total to 4 switches along this circuit. Let's organize the wiring, drop in the 5 volts transformer for the tablet, and get everything installed. This project already has a pretty cool update. It can now detect when the light is on, even if someone turns it on manually. That opens the door to a bunch of new automations. I probably won't make another full video about this device, so all the updates will live on my Patreon, a space I'm building to explain my projects in more detail and connect with the people who genuinely enjoy this channel, even if we're still a tiny corner of the internet. And yes, I want to evolve. I want to bring you more unusual builds. This one isn't unusual, but what's coming next definitely is. In this project, we went through a bit of everything. Electronics, grabbing an electric hammer and breaking down walls, mixing mortar, plastering, and even a little painting. And honestly, this is what you can expect from this channel. We're not afraid to do things we're not professionals at. Inventing, improvising, and getting our hands dirty is literally what we love. It's 10% skill and 90% hope. Oh, and those junction box covers? Here's an idea. Simple, yes, but beautiful. Do you remember the LD1117 regulator? If you can help us understand what we did wrong, leave a comment below. And that's it for today. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. No need to leave a like, we're not here for that. But who knows, one day we might not be here because of it. If you like this kind of chaos mixed with hope, you're already part of this place. So thank you for being here, thank you for supporting the channel, and we'll see you in the next project.